Hi, welcome to In Front of Computer. I'm Uttam Kumar, and in this tutorial we are going to discuss about layers. If you never used layers, or if you're new to Adobe Illustrator and you are confused about layers, then this is the video for you, will help you out. So here in this poster, if I want to change this text, I click here and I can change the font. Now it's a new design, but if I want to go back to the old one, then there is two ways to do that. One way is to select it again and change the font, and another way is just press Ctrl Z from the keyboard or just undo. Then we can go back to the old design, and if I want to see the new design, I can go edit and redo again. This is the new design, but this is not very efficient. I have also seen that some of the beginners at Adobe Illustrator, they just click something to protect, means they don't want to make some changes by chance. So what they do, they just select that object and go to object here and lock then selection. Now you cannot select this text anymore because you want to make some changes on other objects. But if you want to make changes here, you need to go back objects again and unlock all. So this process is also not that efficient, but there is always a better way to do that. We can use Adobe Illustrator's layers. So if you don't see layers panel, go to window and make sure that this layers is checked. So here, if you don't have any idea about this layer, we can just create a new file. Okay. Now here, this is the layer 1, and we can just draw something here. Okay. This is rectangle, and if you want to create a new layer, then you have to click this plus. Now this is a new layer here, and we want to draw something on layer 2. Make sure there is layer 2 is selected. Now we can just draw an ellipse. We can change the color. Now we can just create another layer. Okay. Now we can create another object here, and we can change the color. Very easy. And this is how you can create a new layer. You can also duplicate a layer. Suppose this one on layer 3 you want to duplicate, then just click here and then duplicate layer 3. Now it's duplicated. Very easy to duplicate. Okay, we don't need this one now. We can just delete. Now we can see this here. Okay, here on these layers, these objects on the top, layer 3, because here it's on the top, so this object on the front. But if I just select it, hold the left click and move your mouse, you can see this line, and just release your left click. Now you can see this one on the back, and here you can see this layer 3 on the bottom. So if the layer on the top, then the objects on this layer will be on top. If this on the bottom here, then you can see these objects on the back. Here on this poster, if I want to send back something, means I want to send back an item, then I can just click, then right click, and then I have to go errands and send to back, and again send to back, and then send to back. But this background here, because of this background, there is nothing to back. So here, if I just click on this icon, now I can see that on the back there is nothing, just this sun. That's why it's not going back. But if I want this sun on the front, but it's in the same layer, then I have to right click, then add and send to front. So this how it works. I can go to add and send to back. But if it's just in a layer, means I can cut it. Okay, Control X. Then I can create a new layer here and Control F to paste in the same place. Now here this time if I move it, now you can see that we don't have to click that object and right click and go to add-ons anymore. Here you can see that you have to click, then right click, then you have to go to add-ons, send to back or bring to front, whatever. It actually takes you a lot of time. But here on this layer, you can just select and just move it. It makes your work efficient. Okay, here you can go to this file again. If you want to hide a layer, then you can click this icon. Now it's hidden. If you click here again, then it will be shown. So here, if I want to lock this layer, means if I don't want to make some changes by chance. Last time here, we have clicked this, then we go to object and lock it. But this time here, if I click this one and lock, now you can see that I cannot make any changes on this layer 2 because it is locked here. If you want to unlock, you can easily unlock by clicking that lock icon. Very easy. So here another thing, that is sublayer. Okay, we can keep these layers in the side, and this time we can know about sublayer. So if I click or expand here, I can see this is the rectangle on the sublayer. But if you want to create a sublayer here, if you click this icon, create new sublayer, then it create a sublayer. If you want to create another sublayer, you can easily create by clicking this icon. Very easy. And you can also select this layer. Now you can work on this layer. And here in this time, you can see they are in the same layer, but this item object on the top, that's why we can see this black rectangle on the back. If I want this rectangle front, then okay, we can just move it here. You can also just click the sublayer and move it out on the main layer. This is super easy to do that. And another thing, if you create sublayer here, okay, suppose these two item, I want to move it on the layer 1. Okay, now if I just release my mouse, now they are on the top layer, means layer 1, and they are sublayer. So here I can select all the objects, but I don't want to make changes this one. This is layer 4, and if I lock it now, I cannot make changes this one, but I can just make changes the other layers. So if I just minimize this, now you can see that here is no lock icon, but I cannot select this object because these objects on the sublayer. So if the layer, means if the sublayer is locked, then you cannot see this on main layer. So sometimes if it happens that you are working with many objects and you lock an item on the sublayer, then you cannot see the lock here, but you are also not sure that how to make some changes. Then make sure that you expand this and make sure that the sublayer is not locked. So here, if I lock the main layer, then all the sublayer will be locked and it will be shown here. but if the sublayer is locked, then it will not be shown here. So if there is any problem, make sure that you have checked the sublayer. Okay, now we can go back to this poster. So here you can see this. We want to make some changes on these objects. We want to change the color and we want to see instantly that what's the difference. So here you can select this one, and we can just select this one graphic. We can just duplicate this layer. Now on the top layer, means this graphic copy, we want to change this object. Okay, here you can just recolor. Don't worry about it, you can just see that how it's working. So we just made a little color change. Now here, this is the top. If I click here, the top layer will be hidden. Now we can see this old design, and if I click here again, now I can see the new design. So you can instantly compare your design. You don't have to just go back to undo and redo it again. So it actually saves you a lot of time, and you can see the differences instantly. Here on this text, I can just duplicate it. Now I want to change it. Change the font. Now this time, if I just hide the old design, this is our new one, and this is our old one. So instantly we can compare it, and if you like this design, okay, now you can export. So this is how layers save your time and make you very efficient using Adobe Illustrator. I hope that this tutorial is very helpful for you. See you in the next video.